So we've covered the first half of the year 2022, and now we're looking towards the future, the second half of 2022, and some of the most anticipated game releases. Now, here's a roundup of 20 games. Keep in mind that release dates are always subject to change, especially lately. We always see delays, and we could still also get some surprise game announcements. You never know. But for now, let's get started off with number 20. Evil West is a game where I just gotta throw objectivity out of the window. This is exactly the type of game I want, just a video game as hell video game, and I mean that as a compliment. This is a kind of sci-fi western third-person shooter action game. It's just a linear adventure that you progress through, and you are like a superhero cowboy man. You deal with a 6-shooter, and you're blowing away bad guys, specifically vampires. Yes, the Wild West has been taken over by hordes of vampires, and it's up to you to use your gadgets, your 6-shooters, but also this cool lightning fist gauntlet to like punch them. It just looks ridiculous and fun and gory, and just what the doctor ordered sometimes. It reminds us of something from the 2000s, the 2010s, and we're really looking forward to it. It's releasing on all the major consoles September 20th, 2022. Now, next over at number 19, we have High on Life. This is the Justin Roiland Squanch Games' newest game. So if you're into Rick and Morty and that style of humor and wackiness, this might be right up your alley. This is a sci-fi first-person shooter where the different guns all have different alien personalities. And I'm not gonna lie, it just looks like a ton of fun. It seems like they've got some talented comedians and voice actors behind a lot of the roles. And it just looks like a breath of fresh air, something different. You know, Squanch Games for the longest time now has been pumping out cool projects. They did some cool VR stuff, but now they're getting their hand at a full, seemingly pretty big budget game. It looks ambitious and it looks funny, most importantly. High on Life is releasing October 5th, 2022 for PC and Xbox. Next over at number 18, we have The Lord of the Rings Gollum. Now, this is a game specifically focused around Gollum creeping around Middle-earth, doing sketchy things. It's not necessarily based on the movie. If you could tell by the art style, they're going for a little bit of a different look for the character. And the game is focused around you making decisions as Gollum or Smeagol, you know, the voices in his head, but also trying to mostly avoid combat because he's pretty weak through stealth. It's not often these days that we get a good solid stealth game anymore, just truly dedicated to it, so we're curious to see how this pans out. He seems pretty nimble, he can get around the environments pretty quickly, but the jury's still out on the quality of this one. We've seen some gameplay trailers that don't look so hot, but we can't help but just like Lord of the Rings and weird, strange Lord of the Rings games that show us a different side of Middle-earth, so we're still keeping our eye on it. It releases September 1st, 2022 for all the major consoles. Now, next over at number 17, we have Stray. Yes, this is the cat game. That's the best way to describe it. Stray essentially is like a third-person cat adventure game where you're a lone cat stuck in a seemingly abandoned dystopian futuristic city where all the humans are gone, but there are robots living there. You adventure through as this cat with a little drone friend you met, climbing, exploring, solving puzzles, running from danger, interacting with the locals, and actually doing cat stuff, like scratching on a wall or knocking stuff over, just kind of being a jerk. I mean, no disrespect to cats, I really like them, and I'm looking forward to playing this. We've talked about this one quite a bit already, so we'll move on, but Stray is releasing for PlayStations and PC on July 19th. Next over at number 16, we have Marvel's Midnight Suns. This is Firaxis Games' take on a Marvel game, and it's going for some darker material, but also teaming up some really cool characters like Wolverine and Ghost Rider and Doctor Strange to take on a new enemy, and it's in a top-down kind of strategic XCOM style, what this studio really specializes in. There's sort of a card system in terms of choosing your moves and your attacks, and I think the gameplay can just make for some really fun and challenging spots, you know, if you're into XCOM or any type of strategy game like this. I'm really hoping they nail it, but I'm just looking forward to the story and really seeing these characters in their full glory again. Blade, Hulk, Venom, Wolverine all in the same game, I'm in. As of right now, Marvel's Midnight Suns is releasing October 7th for all the major consoles. Next over at number 15, we have Skull and Bones. This is Ubisoft's long dormant title, finally resurfacing this year and finally releasing, and what it is a pirate adventure game. You make your own pirate captain, you wander around ports in third person, you customize, you loot, you sell, you trade, you hop in your ship, command your crew, and go on adventures and engage in naval combat. You're doing it either alone in a single player campaign or with a group of friends, which is where probably a lot of the fun is going to be had. If you've played anything like Sea of Thieves, you know manning a ship with a bunch of other people can be a blast. This is a little bit of a different spin on things compared to Sea of Thieves, and I'm curious to see how it pans out. We'll know in the fall when it releases November 8th for all the major consoles. Next, over at number 14, we have Splatoon 3. It's incredibly awesome to see this franchise return once again with new competitive modes, seemingly a bigger open-world single-player adventure, and of course, lots of creativity. The multiplayer in Splatoon games can get incredibly addictive, and I'm really curious to see how they're going to expand upon it this time. We're still waiting to hear a lot more for this, but we know this holiday season we're definitely going to be playing it on Nintendo Switch because it releases September 9th. Next, over at number 13, we have Saints Row. Yes, Saints Row has been completely rebooted. They dropped the numbers and now it's Saints Row. You build up your own new criminal from the ground up with a pretty detailed character creator, and you are set loose on a new kind of deserty Las Vegas type city. At first, I was a little skeptical and curious to see if they would actually retain some of the craziness that they really set up with some of the last games, but nope, it seems like all the insane hijinks are going to ensue. You can glide around the city, you could explode helicopters with bazookas, jump out of cars, and run around in your underwear. That's really all I've really cared about with Saints Row games. I just hope they keep it super dumb and super fun. Hopefully it doesn't feel lifeless. We'll have to judge it when we get our hands on it. It's releasing August 23rd, 2022 for all the major consoles. Next, over at number 12, we have Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. These games are following up Pokémon Legends Arceus, with what you would expect like a more traditional Pokémon game, but in this new, wide-open, fully 3D formula. As you've probably seen from the gameplay trailers, some of the exploration and everything looks really promising. Not too much to say about this one yet, other than that technically it's the first installment in the 9th generation of Pokémon game series, and it's going to be keeping some of us busy on Switch November 18th, 2022. Now, next over at number 11, we have Atomic Heart. Now, this awesome, creative, BioShock-inspired, like alternate history, Soviet sci-fi thing is really just unlike any other adventure we've seen, and we've been hooked on this one and anticipating this one for a while. Now, so many games have been hit with delays, so as of right now, Atomic Heart doesn't have a rock-solid release date, but it's still slated for the 4th quarter of 2022 at the time of making this video, so we wanted to highlight it. We really hope to see it this year, but if it doesn't make it this year, and any game on this list, we don't want them to rush. Take your time, make a good game. Now, next over at number 10, we have Overwatch 2. Overwatch 2 has been in the works for quite some time, and as of recently, a lot of people have been able to experience it with the PvP beta. There is a lot going on with Overwatch 2. Specifically, if you're more of a hardcore fan, you'll appreciate the nuances and what they're going to offer, most particularly a new character who seems pretty cool. There's definitely still a lot more news to come out about this one. We do know that it is now going to be a free-to-play release, which definitely makes things interesting. Overwatch 2 is releasing October 4th of this year. Now, next over at number 9, we have Xenoblade Chronicles 3. 2 is absolutely awesome. It's one of my favorite Switch JRPGs ever, so I'm really looking forward to 3. If you don't know, it's an action JRPG with open world exploration and tons of RPG stuff like questing, character building, and party members to build out. These games have a lot of personality, a lot of heart, good character depth, and good solid moments, and a good amount of style, specifically with the battles. If it's anywhere near as good as 2, I think that's a win, and if it surpasses it, that would be pretty awesome. It's releasing July 29th, 2022 on Nintendo Switch. Next over at number 8, we have Scorn. This long-awaited game finally has a release date, and it's just definitely not your typical first-person shooter. I mean, if this is the first time you're seeing gameplay of it, yes, it is very unique. It is incredibly, deeply inspired by H.R. Giger style art. The artist who created a lot of the initial concepts and designs for the original Alien film. So it's got some creative kind of bio-organic horror elements to it, and it looks like it could be very cool to explore these worlds. The graphics seem pretty intense. We're still not totally sure what the deal is with gameplay, how much of it's really shooting, how much of it is just exploration and puzzle solving, but in terms of the atmosphere, the vibe, they got it on lock. This one has been a long time coming, and we hope it's worth it. We'll be checking it out on PC and Xbox October 21st, 2022. Now, next over at number 7, we have Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. That's right, they're making a Call of Duty again. Can you believe it? Never in a million years would I expect to see another Call of Duty game. I'm kidding, I'm sorry, but I actually really liked Modern Warfare, specifically the campaign. The graphics were great, the action was pretty crazy. So if they could do that again and have some compelling multiplayer, it'll probably be a win. I mean, I know Call of Duties are just automatic wins for some people. They just go out and buy them every year, but the series always kind of needs a shake-up, and maybe this will be it. We don't know too much about the game yet. It'll probably start getting revealed more soon, but as of the time of making this video, we just know it's releasing for all the major consoles October 28th. Next, over at number 6, we have Gotham Knights. This is an action game in an open world Gotham where you can play as Nightwing, Batgirl, Robin, or Red Hood. So in this, story-wise, Batman is dead, but the city is still just as screwed as ever. So it's up to the Bat family to come together and fight against some cool villains, some of which we haven't seen in games before, like the Court of Owls. Combat looks to be sort of Batman Arkham style, but a little bit different, a little bit more focused on like two players playing together and using their moves together, though they have clarified that you can play this completely single player. I'm excited for this one just as like a hardcore Batman comic fan. I'm excited to see what they can do with these characters, but the combat so far doesn't look as smooth as it could be. But again, the jury's still out. We have to actually play it. We have to feel it in our hands, and we're going to do that. I still think the concept on paper is pretty cool. Teaming up maybe online with another player to play cooperative and cruise around on bat cycles through an open world Gotham fighting crime. Like, that sounds pretty awesome, and the story could be pretty cool, but we'll just have to wait and see. Thankfully, after them making this and teasing it for many years, we finally hopefully get to play it without any more delays, October 25th of this year. Now, next over at number 5, we have Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion. Yes, they're basically remaking-ish Crisis Core for all those Final Fantasy VII hardcore fans, and this is an incredible story that was not experienced by enough people that really can probably have a new opportunity to shine here. I'm curious to see how this is going to tie in with the Final Fantasy remake games, but if you want more Final Fantasy, you're definitely going to get it with a game like this. Hoo boy. Got cool music, cool combat, cool characters, memorable moments, and it seems like it's going to be coming out this year. Square Enix announced that it's coming to all the major consoles, including Xbox, this winter. Next, over at number 4, we have the Callisto Protocol. This is what I said at the start of this video, just another video game-ass video game. It's straight up a single-player, fun, action, narrative, adventure, heavily inspired by Dead Space. In a lot of ways, it's the spiritual successor to Dead Space because some of the people that worked on that are working on this game. We always need more survival horror games. We always need more tense, brutal sci-fi games, so we're all signed up for this one. There's not too much more we can say. If you've seen the gameplay, you pretty much get what it is. Straightforward third-person tension in dark atmospheric space stations. That's all we want, baby. So the Callisto Protocol is releasing on all the major consoles December 2nd, 2022. Now, down to number 3, we have A Plague Tale Requiem, which is a follow-up to one of my favorite games, A Plague Tale Innocence. This is a single-player action-adventure narrative where you play as Amicia, trying to escort her special brother, Hugo, through a plague-infested world. However, the stakes are definitely higher this time around, with Amicia growing up into more of a badass. It seems like there's more combat, more of a threat, and Hugo himself has also developed some interesting characteristics. If you've played the first game, you know what I mean. The first game was incredibly fun, beautiful, gory, depressing, nasty, and unique. So we're hoping that the second game can really top that. It's releasing October 18th, 2022. Now, down at number 2, we have Hogwarts Legacy. This seems to be the Harry Potter game that a lot of people have been waiting for. This is essentially a game where you create your own student, you choose what house you're in, and you go on some sort of cool magical wizarding adventure. This is kind of a prequel to what we know of Harry Potter. It takes place many, many, many years before Voldemort or anybody, and the potential seems there, obviously, for Harry Potter fans, but for us, we're looking at something like maybe something to fill the void of like the fact that we never got a Bully sequel, the idea of a game where you go on adventures in the world of this school while also having to do some classes. The only other thing we have like that is a Persona game, but in terms of that other type of feel, you know, we're looking forward to Hogwarts Legacy for that. We've seen some gameplay, it does look pretty impressive, but we still have a lot of questions that need answering. Still, we're looking forward to checking it out when it releases holiday 2022 for all the major consoles. Now, down to number 1, you guessed it, of course, it's God of War Ragnarok. We're really, really excited for this follow-up to Kratos and Atreus' first adventure. It seems like now, after the events of the first, or rather the new saga, the God of War 2018 game, the events of that game, the ramifications are seemingly coming home to roost here, with Freya seemingly being more of an antagonist and Thor possibly being involved. He was teased when this game was first announced, so we're excited to see where this goes. It looks like bigger worlds, more detail, more combat options. But for us, to be honest, it might sound silly, but we're just really looking forward to seeing where this story goes, because God of War 2018 was absolutely beautiful. If you're just looking for cool stuff or a heartwarming story about a father and a son, there's kind of something for everybody, as much as that's a cheesy phrase. It's for real, dude. So we're really looking forward to God of War Ragnarok and seeing where it takes things, and it's releasing for PlayStation November 9th, 2022. Those are the games we're really looking forward to, but of course we've got more that we couldn't fit in the list. So the first is The Last of Us Part 1 remake of the original game. Also, Sons of the Forest, the follow-up to The Forest, finally seems like it's dropping this year. Sonic Frontiers is also seemingly dropping this year. We're looking forward to seeing how that one shakes out. Also, Outlast Trials. As of the time of this video, we don't have a date, but we're hoping to see this year. Also, Soul Hackers 2. Like we said, those are the games we're looking forward to, but there are so many more that we couldn't fit on this list, from indies to just other weirder games, so let us know what you're looking forward to. If you learned about a new game or this helped you out in any way, clicking the like button's all you gotta do. It really helps us out. But if you're new, consider subscribing, because we put out videos every single day. Either way, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.